What's that?
Awesome sauce! Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Blind Adam. This is Awesome Sauce Radio. I hope you're all having a very blessed, very beautiful Wednesday night. I hope you had a great new comic book day. Before we get started with this episode, I'd like to thank my sponsor, which is Glamour Under the Stars. Glamour Under the Stars is having a great event this Sunday, June 12th at the Dave & Buster's on International Drive in Orlando, Florida. He's got an amazing guest list, including the Hardy Boys, Madison Rain, and a whole guest list. Go to glamourunderthestars.com to check them out. Love you, Jason. I thank you for the love and support. And please show up on and have a really good time at their events. Glamour Under the Stars is like the best fan experience you're ever going to have. And I'm just really happy that they're on board. So check them out, please. Also, wanted to give two quick shout outs before I bring Autumn in. I want to give a shout out to Britt Liberty. Sorry, we've been having problems cooking up, but we'll get together for cheesecake and drinks sometime in the next week or so. Also, want to give a shout out to my brother from another mother, Top Hat Tommy. Tommy, I love you, and the question that you texted me, I'm going to ask first, because we're going to settle this once and for all. Now I'd like to bring in the sexiest woman in all comic book speculation. You know her, you love her. Autumn South, how you doing?
Hi, what's going on?
Not much. Had a week of contractors working on both bathrooms at once, and just doing the thing, getting things ready for future episodes of the show, as well as Exotica, which we got going on in October.
Exotica is coming up quick. It's going to be here quicker than we know it.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Same yours going fast. How's your week been going?
Good so far. Just hectic, working, doing a lot of stuff around the house. Kids. Being a porn star and having kids.
Yep. Heard them in the background when we were talking last night. So we have an amazing guest. She is a XM sports fantasy host and personality. She's a film star, author of the book The Life and the Life Back, the legendary, the one, the only, the sexy Lisa Ann. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you both so much for having me.
Thank you, Lisa. Lisa, will you be at the Jason's event in Orlando this Sunday?
I am. I will be at Jason's event at Dave & Buster's this Sunday, the 12th, from 6 to 10 p.m. And then we have another event coming up in July 29th in Nashville, Tennessee at the Dave & Buster's.
That's awesome. The one that was in Times Square a couple weeks ago was a blast.
It was great.
My older brother, Tommy Top Hat, did the photos for that event that day. And I'd like to know, can you please settle an argument once and for all? What is the last meal of the day called? Dinner or supper?
Depends kind of where you're from, right? Some people call it supper in different parts of the U.S. and some people call it dinner. I think it really depends where you're from, right? I grew up with it being supper, but then when I moved out west, it was dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, we have dinner, and then the manager and I specifically call our latest snack the dark lunch.
That's a great name. I like it's almost like brunch, right?
Because it's like a dark lunch.
Dark lunch. Okay.
That's awesome. I'll give this round to Tommy. So we'll continue to debate that throughout the year. So I just got finished reading The Life, and your new book, The Life Back, is out.
Yeah, and you know what, Adam? What's great about the audio version of The Life, that was one of my quarantine projects. So as soon as we went into lockdown, I made a list of things that I'd completely procrastinated in my life. And one of them was recording my audiobook to my first book that was released when I retired in 2014. It was released in 2015. So now I still need to record the audio version for my newest book, which I'll do later on this year. And my newest book is The Life Back.
So unfortunately, it's not in Braille and it's not in audio yet. So I have
It
the
is
books.
Okay, you don't have the second. You're right. The second one is not on audio. Yeah.
The Life Back is not in audio yet, so I have it, like the hard copy sitting on my desk, but I have to find someone to read it to me before it gets on Audible.
I will record it as soon as possible, Adam.
But I would like to ask I have a request. I'd like to know if I could, break out my Perkins Brailler and maybe put a chapter to the Life or The Life Back in Braille.
I'm not opposed to that. I guess I would need to do the research to find a company that does that, but that's something that I should definitely be interested in doing.
Yeah, something I wouldn't mind taking a crack at to, help me improve my Braille skills just a little bit.
Okay.
So
that would be awesome.
Okie doke. So where does the Life Back? Where does that continue from The Life, which basically ends at your retirement?
Yeah, so The Life Back really takes you on my journey from 2015 to 2020. I left it when I moved full-time to New York City, December of 2019. That's kind of the ending chapter of what it was like, because in that 5-year span, I went through an incredible amount of transition, trials and tribulations, and also I decided to become a minimalist. And so I set myself up getting rid of 75% of my belongings, which took me about 2 years.
How was that? I want to know more.
It's a great experience. It's a really freeing experience to actually touch every belonging that you own. And I think when people move, it's such a great time to go through your things and minimize your stuff. But I went through the extreme of taking every single thing out of my kitchen and my kitchen cabinets. I had lived in that house since 2005. This was 2016. I started this 2017. And I took everything out of my kitchen and put it on my dining room table and on my dining room floor. My whole place was covered. And then over the course of a month, I just put back the things that I used, and whatever I didn't put back, I got rid of. And so
it's always the sit down, do I need this? Do I not need it? And then I'm sitting there well, if I haven't used it in a week or two, toss it.
It was a really freeing experience for me, because you just accumulate stuff when you live in a big house. And I at that time I lived in a big house, and I filled every closet, and I lived on my own, and now I just live this simple life. But if I buy something, I have to get rid of something.
Mm-hmm. Replace it for one every time you buy something new.
And it also really inspired. 2017 was the year that I really took on doing more charity work and using the community that I've built, my following, to get involved with donating for me to do walks and all different events. I just did an overnight walk in New York City last weekend, and the money went for suicide prevention. It was awesome. An 18-mile walk.
Wow, that's amazing.
And you said it was overnight?
It was overnight. We started walking at 8:45, and it went till 5:45 a.m. was a closing ceremony. 1,800 people walking together on the sidewalks in New York City, seeing the whole city, seeing neighborhoods I've never walked through before, and really getting together for the cause. And so I do, that was my first for suicide prevention in New York. I go to California every year, and I do a walk for Alzheimer's research in Huntington Beach, California. I do charity events, charity golf events through different clubs and radio stations that I work for. So becoming a minimalist allowed me to free up 2 to 4 days a month. Those are the days a month that you'd spend taking care of all of your stuff, or rearranging your closet because it's too full, or rearranging your kitchen because it's a disaster. And so once I freed up those days, I was able to give them at that time to something else. So That was a great component that I brought into my life when I was making this transition into my new world.
It's great. There is one charity that you support that I'd like to know a little bit more about. It's called Blessings. Can you explain to my audience what that is, please?
It's Blessings in a Backpack, and Blessings in a Backpack is an organization in the United States that helps children that are going home on the weekends from school with food insecurity. And those are children that just don't know where their next meal is going to come from once they leave that Monday through Friday school lunch program. So Blessings in a Backpack gives them a book bag that they take home and bring back every week. And it's filled with enough food to get them through the weekend, things that they can also easily put together themselves. And I've been a fan of this charity for many, many years. When I became a minimalist, I also got rid of having a wish list. A lot of stars have wish lists. Mm-hmm. And so my wish list now is for people to just donate to these different charities. I get a lot of people that donate on my behalf to Blessings in a Backpack. And it just feels good to know that we just thinking about children going home from school without knowing where their food is going to come from is a conversation we really should be having more often in the United States. And it's a really well-run charity from a woman that was smart enough to go to Target, Walmart, and all these other large vendors and get them to donate food to keep the cost down on what it costs to actually adopt one child for a school year and make sure that every weekend they go home with food.
I love that. It's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a great way to meet new people as well. And also it's very neutralizing. Autumn, I know you're in the industry. You know, I was in the industry for many years of my life, and you kind of reach a point where, you know, you want to have friends outside of the business. It's very hard to meet people. You also don't want to be a science project when you do meet new people and you tell them what you do. And then next thing you know, it's like you are on display with 20 million questions. Is it like this? Do you know this person? What's this like? You don't want that either. And I find that when I do charity events, it's like a great neutralizer, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody there is for a good cause. It's not about you. And it is about the greater good of this organization. And that's helped me feel like I belong and be a part of a community outside of the industry.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't even like the whole wish list thing. I'm like, I don't even want stuff. Like, please don't.
Yeah, because, you
stuff. I don't want it.
They buy it for you so nicely, but then they start hounding you immediately to take pictures with it. Oh, I sent you this shirt. You got to take pictures in it. I sent you this. Like, I don't even allow stuff from product lines. For a long time, I had a P.O. box in California, and they would send me so much stuff I didn't want. And so eventually I was just like, I'm not accepting mail anymore. Unless you're sponsoring my podcast or unless we're doing business together, I don't want your stuff.
Yeah. Like, just donate all of that stuff. I'm like, here, you can have something. You can have.
Give it away to all my friends.
I think I set one person in my entire life something on their wish list, and that was Rebecca Love right after she took my virginity on Howard Stern.
Hilarious. She deserved a gift. Adam, she deserved a gift.
What's that? Yeah, you know. Speaking of Stern, you actually were one of the Snapple girls?
I sure was in my very young age, late 80s, early 90s. I did Snapple, 1-800-Dial-A-Mattress, P-Touch Labeler, all the things that were like, we thought the P-Touch Labeler was the most fascinating thing we had ever seen. Again, we didn't have cell phones then either. So that was back in Snapple, was still was the original company of Snapple before they got bought out. And Stern did a lot of great advertising. That was when he was still on WOR-TV. And I was working at a club in Secaucus, and they used to come into the clubs to scout girls to do those spots on the show.
Oh, wow. So that's when I was actually still like a really, really big fan of the show.
So much fun.
That's a piece of trivia I actually found very fascinating as I was doing research for the interview.
Yep. I was a Snapple girl. My very first job I ever worked that we ended up getting residual income. And like, you know, for me, it was also around the same time that clubs were starting to no longer pay us as strippers. Because in the 80s, you know, we were getting anywhere from $20 to $25 an hour to be at the club. So you got your pay on top of whatever you were making. And then they realized more girls wanted to dance. Then they wanted to work for tips. Then they started to turn around and wanted to have us pay to work there. And so by me doing Stern and being the Snapple girl, I was able to go to all these clubs and say, hey, you can advertise me, but I'm never paying you to work here. I'm not working here for free. So that was my leverage to get, I just knew that. I remember sitting in the dressing room floor in Northeast Philly and telling the girls, in this meeting. This is me. I'm like, we're getting out hustled of our own hustle. 6 months ago, we were getting paid $25 an hour to be here. Now they want us to pay $50 a night. We cannot have this. So I got creative and started to scout out work outside that would give me some leverage to still get paid.
That's awesome.
Fabulous.
Hey Adam, I need to break in here because I've got some questions, man. It's just a real quick question, Lisa Ann. Sorry to disturb the interview. Chitlins. I'm just a guy in a freaking background right now.
Yeah,
So yes, ma'am. So when you talk about charity, I love people who do charity, and I was trying to look through so I could maybe put the link to your charities and everything. But you got way too much stuff going on, man.
Yeah,
you got
I
way
try
too
to
much
do
stuff.
something every month. I try to do something for charity every month.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you got somebody in the background, or if you could tell us what the link is to the closest one that you got coming up. I know you were talking about the kids with the backpack and the food and everything. If you give us a link,
you can go blessings in a backpack. Since I just finished
Blessings in
this
a
large
Backpack.
fundraiser for suicide prevention, I'll start to promote the link for my walk for Alzheimer's in October. But you can easily find everything on my social media profiles at the Real Lisa Ann. Every profile is the same. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So just go there. You'll find everything
Exactly. Go to the social media. Don't go to Lisa Ann's website, especially if you're married. Don't do that.
Chitlins.
Don't
Chill,
do that like I did.
Place you're going.
Don't do that like I did. Mess up. Lord have mercy.
Oh yeah, you messed up. Did Miss Chitlins find?
No, luckily now, but I'm already down here sweating and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? I don't see any charities. All right, but yeah, I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna let you go get it. And of course, those that donate to the charity, or to the charity, make sure you take a snapshot of the receipt or anything, send that to me, and then you will be entered into the Drunken Chat giveaway this coming weekend. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Lucas. So
right now, I'll tell you what, it's 16-9. Boston's in the lead. 6 minutes and 34 seconds left in the first quarter. Golden State just sluggish in the first. This is what they like to do. What they're going to do is they're going to run them down, and then you know what's going to happen in the fourth quarter. They're going to step on the gas. They've been crushing the Celtics. Celtics some turnovers in the fourth quarter. So excited. It's NBA.
That's awesome.
Man,
basketball is your favorite sport out of everything?
Basketball is my very first love, my very only true love. Actually, I shouldn't say that, but it is my first love. Football came second. I didn't really fall into baseball until much later in life. It's a slow sport you got to learn about, but basketball was everything for me. I played through school. I live in a building that has a basketball court. I play still regularly. Basketball is my everything.
Fantastic. Fabulous.
That's awesome. Any advice for someone wanting to get back into shape on a regular exercise program?
Oh, I do this every year in January. I pick a couple of my followers and I break it down with them. Okay, what are you doing? What aren't you doing? Let's start small. Let's eliminate one bad thing that you eat or drink, whether it's soda or whether it's something bad you eat, and let's start exercising for 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
I'm going to set Lisa Ann on you over there. We're going to set Lisa Ann off on the manager, Adam.
We up it to 20. I mean, when I retired over a 3-year span, I lost 55 pounds. I was not getting on the scale and trying to lose weight, but my sleep schedule became more consistent. My eating schedule was more consistent. I was on the road feature dancing, stuck eating whatever's available. I was able to really get into making my own food, and it changed my life.
I believe that. Yeah, as I said, even cutting down on just one simple thing at a time.
One. Just keep going. It doesn't be, Yep. And then adding in something good, adding in something nutrient dense, whether it's a banana as a snack before bed with some almond butter, or fruit, as opposed to something that's just so easy. Like my best friend loves hot Cheetos, right? Loves hot Cheetos. She doesn't put on weight either, so it doesn't even matter. But like I can look at those now and buy them in my house to have them for when she visits. And I can open that cabinet a million times and see them, and there is no temptation. You do not tempt me anymore. You can be in my house. And there was a long time that you'd eat junk food. Now I just don't eat junk food.
Exactly. That's why, especially with kids, like by the time I want it,
gotta be so hard.
It's never there. So I'm either going to hide it or I'm just not even going to buy it, because by the time I'm ready to eat it, because I want it like maybe once a month. Maybe once every couple weeks, and then they just devour it.
The only thing I really need to cut out a little bit more is soda and energy drinks. Outside of that, I've got
Energy
everything else
drinks
at
is the
50 to
death of
60%.
me. Yeah.
The balls.
If you're gonna do an energy drink, do something that is a healthy alternative. You know, one of my sponsors for my podcast, Lisa and Experience, is Fit Soda. You can look them up on IG at Fit Sodas, Twitter at Fit Soda, and it's sugar free, caffeine free. You've got you got electrolytes, you've got brain function, you got vitamins in there, and it really gives that same satisfaction of something beautiful and sweet like a soda, but no calories, all that good stuff, and it's not going to hurt you.
This is what
I will check them out.
you
I'll
need
definitely
to-
check them out because I'm trying to really.
Well,
That's my number one downfall.
Is soda? Soda's horrible. I've never been
Yeah.
a soda person. I wasn't raised on it, but I just can't. I can't let something eat away at the inside of my body. I just can't do it.
I think it's the
Do
teeth
you
for me.
do you
Like, I
have
don't
any
wanna
of that
lose-
spit soda around the house you can show us?
I'm actually not home right now. I actually flew
Ah.
out west on a little rendezvous with my boyfriend real quick before I went to Orlando. So this is the
You're
last
supposed to
minute
have that
trip.
on you. You're supposed to
I
have that
just
on
got-
you. Don't put it on the paparazzi.
Yeah,
freaking
no, it's like I feel like I'm in a prop room right now because this is the perfect setting for a background. It looks like a fake Zoom, but no, this isn't my place. Drinking a coffee out of an espresso machine in the hotel with a paper
Yeah,
cup.
you and Adam look like you were in the same
I didn't pack
house,
a bag.
just in different rooms.
I didn't pack a
right now.
bag. I wasn't gonna check bags for this quick 3-day rendezvous.
Exactly.
Do you have any fond memories of working on the M&M video?
Oh my gosh! First of all, I will be 80 years old and still cool because of that video. Okay, still cool. I'll be able to look back on my life on YouTube and be like, you know what? At one time in my life, before I got this old and I couldn't drive anymore and do any other things I want to do, I was cool. That was a great experience. You know, when I initially got the call at the time, I was running an agency. And when I initially got the call at the agency, we thought it was one of my friends prank phone calling me. And so, of course, we hung up on the person that called, twice I did that during the Palin thing. The very first time TMZ called me to set up shooting me at the airport, I thought it was one of my friends prank phone calling me and I hung up on them. And then, because of course at that time I still thought everything was real on TMZ and it all happened organically. I didn't know some of this stuff was arranged, but it makes perfect sense now. And the PR person from Hustler at the time, Jennifer, she called me. She's like, "Did you just hang up on TMZ? And why would you do that?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, they call you? How did they get my number?"
I didn't know they called you. I thought it was a prank.
So that was a major point during that Amber Heard Depp court case.
Any of that.
Yeah, so that was a major point.
There's just so much sports stuff going on. Everybody was watching. It was almost hard to avoid in the news. My friends were like, "Did you see what happened?" I'm like, "No, I really didn't." Like,
yeah,
sorry.
people were honing in on the Me Too thing, but here at Comic Crusaders, we were kind of honing in on like the domino effects that are sent through the executives, because the executives were making a whole bunch of decisions behind the scenes. They were firing this guy, that guy. A couple of execs got fired as a result of that. Now a whole bunch of stuff comes out, and then you're talking about how DMZ likes to stage stuff. Well, the fact is that she went to the courthouse to get the restraining order, and apparently she set it up with TMZ that as she was coming out, she would stop so they could see.
Just so you know, you don't have to do that because any court records filed, TMZ gets, because I had to file a restraining order against somebody, and I had no idea that they would put it on television. And I remember I got on a flight. By the time I landed, all my friends were like, "Yo, you're on the news right now." And it was so shameful because they get all of your personal information. I was so devastated over that. But she didn't have to do that. It's a bit shady,
But yeah,
I feel like if everybody put their same emotion into Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, we could have some real conversations about maybe women's birthing rights and shit that's really going wrong in this country right now. Really? I mean, if everybody could get together and understand, like, we're talking Roe versus Wade right now,
use the same energy.
Yeah, use that same big energy and try and let's just really have a conversation about shit that's way more important. I understand this was bad, but I only put my energy towards things that I think truly matter.
Look, I think male Plan B should be a freaking thing. I think the ability to, how you got, birth control pills for women. I think birth control pills for men should be 10 cents.
Okay,
Come
there
out
are
for 10 cents.
there are birth control pills for men that have just
Yeah.
worked their way through the FDA. But here's
Yeah.
the problem: none of us trust you to take something at the same time every day. You
Well,
can't
yeah.
skip a day. You have to
Yeah.
remember to have it with you. No, no, no.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
not believing any dude is going to be able to hold up that end of the bargain. Y'all aren't
no.
organized enough. You can't even keep a dentist appointment. So no, I get it. I'm
Motherfuckers
glad
can't
it's
even change their
neutral.
blankets every 2 to 3 months like they're supposed to.
Yeah, so like I'm
So,
glad there is that out there now, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
as a man, I will not. As a man, would you?
hey,
What does
as a
that
man, I
even
hey.
mean? As a woman, I don't want to take birth control, but like what?
Like, look, once you get that first that
But
fucking child custody check,
you won't get
cut
that
put
little
out your fucking
snip
cut.
snip that's
Yeah,
reversible.
once you see that first cut out of your fucking paycheck for child custody, yeah, you'll freaking
and I
you
made it
start fucking
50
popping
years,
pills like
no
it's fucking cool.
children. Okay. I worked very diligently to be sitting here right now, being able to say, no, I never wanted kids. And I made it a strong point to not have them.
But you're not the problem, Lisa. It's the other ones that can't, no, shouldn't. They have like no childbearing skills whatsoever, and
Common
they're popping
sense.
out like 6, 7. Some got out there got
But
11, man.
why did the guy have unprotected sex with the girl anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why
condoms
So
aren't
did he do
expensive.
it's
that?
well,
Why
it's even
did he do that?
well, I mean, it's even worse when you consider the great proportion of the unwanted pregnancies. It's by teenagers or women in between 1924, and it's by older men, like guys that freaking picked up on them while they were freaking teenagers. So,
Mhm.
and then of course we say, well, we need to hold these women accountable. Well, when they got pregnant and when they were picked up by these, they were just teens, they were kids. So
You realize that less than 20 states in the United States are actually giving proper sex education, if sex education at all. 20 states in the United States actually practice abstinence. They go into a school of a kids that are watching porn since they were 10 on their gaming devices. They tell them to abstain, okay? We're not doing it
Yeah,
right in the United
it's
States. So
No, we're not.
before it even gets to that woman that has the child, the young woman with the older man, before it even gets to anything, we're not giving the information that young people need to make the best decisions that they can to have the best lives that they can.
and it's not even universal as something as so universal that everyone does as sex. You would think the rules and regulations would be the same
They're
to
not.
to teach everyone. Like each county, each school can have a different way.
Yep. And
of
they don't
something,
have
and
to
it
do it at
doesn't
all.
even
It's
have to be right. It's not even regulated, so they can say
regulated at
whatever
all.
they want.
right.
And it's
So
like, okay,
yeah. I mean, like, I mean, you guys obviously had absolutely great freaking teachers that you trust, that those same type of teachers are in the schools.
My school nurse sent me over Planned Parenthood and told me to ask them every single question I had. And I went over there regularly, and those women saved my life. I believe in the organization. I believe in how much care they put into people who are willing to go in there and say, here is what I need to know. Here is what I'm curious about. Here is what I don't want to happen. I was very fortunate that my high school at the time had a Planned Parenthood across the street. And I was also fortunate that growing up in the 70s, early 80s, that my school nurse wasn't afraid to do that. Now that would probably be a legal thing where a school nurse wouldn't feel good about advising something like that. They'd be a lot
Yeah, I
more
was gonna
cautious.
say, in today's day and age, do you think any school nurse is going to?
Probably
Hey,
Yeah.
Amazon, stop!
Yeah, well, I
Will a
mean,
child come home with a Planned Parenthood piece of paper in their backpack to the
yeah,
wrong mother?
right.
You know,
Well, I mean, because
like
it
that
goes,
could be.
yeah, because it goes into the whole advising and consultations and everything. Like, it's advising and consultations is really big in some states and in some school districts, and that goes into the whole thing about Florida and don't say gay and everything. So, in everybody's mind, it just covers, hey, don't say freaking gay, but in other people's minds who do have the kids that it actually relates to, they may have already been getting some type of therapy, at like professional therapy, but
But
then
that
some
bill is for
schools are getting a
children
little weird.
under third grade. I don't think many children under third grade
No, 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 no. It's
going
not
through
just
therapy.
no. It's not. No, it's just for. That's what a lot of people honed in on. It was just for the ones that are under third grade, but there were like other areas, and even then, um, there are kids under the third grade and below that are getting that type of therapy. But it's not just hey, freaking. We don't want you to talk to the kids. It's like hey, we don't want somebody who's not necessarily educated talking to some kid in that you don't know their medical history or psychological history, talking to these kids and stepping in, because if you do, and it's fine if you do, but the parent has to be advised first so they can decide, well, we don't want you to do that at all. So
But
it's
I don't know why we're talking to kids under third grade and then we're not offering sex education in that same state. So it's a conflict. I've read the bill. I read between 3 and 4 hours of news every single day. I read bills
yeah.
cover to cover that come out, even if they're 200 pages. I'm one of those people that is on a need to know basis on all things. And I feel like our news is really, it's the most propaganda it's ever been. We're brainwashing America into clickbait titles that are not even real. I was just a part of a clickbait thing that got the business up my ass, almost threatening me not to go to Exotica over the fact that it says ex-porn star Lisa Ann demands Elon Musk ban porn on Twitter. I never said that once. They actually pulled a clip from my podcast.
I think
The exact
Elon
clip
wants
was
more
there.
porn on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I
Like,
mean,
But
like,
I
he
never
wants
used the
everything.
word,
Like shit.
never used the word
He just doesn't
ban.
want the porn bots on that motherfucker. That's what. Manager, what's going
You're
on, brother?
missing
Well,
the point.
I wanted to chime in on the
By the way,
whole.
it's 30-15 right now. Boston Celtics are the lead. There's 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Go ahead.
Your voice is so fucking professional, Lisa Ann. What the
Look.
fuck? You should be on like ESPN
Sounds like my ASMR right
XX
there.
or something shit like that. God
Okay,
On
so
my YouTube during football season at the release, and I do all my sports takes. So
he's
you can
getting
see
a
me
chub as we speak.
shut up. Okay, so anyways, I wanted to chime in a little bit on the whole school and talking to children that are under a certain age. I know here in the state of Maryland, I just was informed that they are talking to kids that are as low as like first grade about sexuality and different things like that.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that comes into the whole like indoctrination of children, because it's kind of like a thing where like your parents force you to go to Sunday school when you're a kid, and then you're told Jesus this, Jesus that, So if you're told from a young age at school that it's okay to be this way, or they're sometimes I even heard it, they're like forcing children to make a choice where it's like, oh, you like boys and you think they're cute, well then you're gay, or you might be bisexual. But I've had feelings when I was younger, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you are gay or you're bi or pan or whatever you may be. It just means that some kids have that exploration in their heads that they want to go out and do these certain things and explore, and then they could be something totally different. So I don't believe that at that young of an age we should be talking about sexuality when they don't even know what sex is yet.
Sure, agreed.
And I feel like maybe in the going into
Let them be
teenage
kids.
years,
Just
like
let
middle
them be
school.
kids. Let them be kids. Let them. I was a tomboy as a kid, and I'm so glad we weren't in the place we are right now, because I probably would have been, kind of labeled in a different direction just because I was a tomboy, right? But I just think we should let them be kids. And also, I think it's so important that we start teaching financial literacy in schools. I think it's so important that we really hone the skill sets of math and the things that children will need. And I think this stuff is a little bit of a distraction. And I think we're kind of robbing kids of their childhood by, not letting them just be kids. And also maybe we should be using this time to teach them about apps and catfishing and older people on apps pretending they're teenagers. Like, I think there's other things we need to be teaching them to say we need to protect every generation in a very different way. And there's new obstacles for each generation of parents. The parents are faced with. They have to really deal with.
It's like you can't.
Remember, it used to be don't get into the shady van, even if the dude answers you, offers you candy.
Don't take the candy.
Now it's hey, who are you talking to while you're playing Fortnite? Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is?
We have that all the time with our daughters.
Who's 30-year-old man
They'll be playing
69? Who the fuck is
Roblox,
that?
and I'm like, who are you talking to? And they're like, I don't know.
and like it could be some 50-year-old
Yeah.
creepy
Who
person.
is that? What are you
You
doing?
know,
For sure. It's funny because there's
But-
this guy that goes around Exotica and he always has this big bag of candy. And it's like this random bag. It's not in like the bag that it came in. And for years, he knows that when he comes up to me, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I was told not to take candy from strangers. So I can't have any of your candy.
Was that you, Adam?
No, it's
I know
not
you.
me.
But another point on schools that I'd like to make, I think that we should try to do more like focus-driven things on what the kids are interested in doing, instead of forcing them into a curriculum that is supposed to be for everyone. Why don't we do it to where, like, oh, you have an interest in electronics or programming, like, why don't you go and study this? Or you have an interest in filmmaking or being a creative, well, here's this path that you could take. And that way they're more career driven all the way through school and will be able to accomplish things better because they already have that skill set that was taught to
Sure.
them throughout
Well,
however many years of school that, you know,
well, they can,
that
but
it
it's
would
all
start
about.
at.
Yeah, I mean, they can. It's just about the money. That's the
Both tech
thing.
schools offer that as they get older.
Yeah.
But I think
It
the
seems like
basic
it needs a whole
structure-
revamp.
Yeah, because they have career,
basic
what is the
structure
career
really good
centers?
for kids.
Yeah.
Structure is good because it teaches you how to have that structure in the workplace later on. So what we're doing is we're rhythmically teaching these basic building blocks to make you then, once you master them, then you're like, oh, I think I'm creative, or I think I want to work in a dentist office, or I think,
Mhm.
then those tech schools come in really handy. First quarter is
Yeah.
over, and the Warriors have closed the gap in the score a little bit. Jaylen Brown already has 17 points in the first quarter. Boom,
What's the
this
score?
kid.
Awesome.
Sorry, it's on
Excuse me,
commercial. I just lost
Lisa.
the person.
What is proper etiquette for a Lisa Ann meet and greet for,
Good question.
Well, if y'all can just turn down the creepometer a notch, you'll still be creepy, but you don't have to be as creepy. We don't have to have a face-to-face conversation about that one time I had my hair up in a scene, and then halfway through I take it down, and it bothered you. Those are things I don't need to know. I don't need you to tell me how much you love me. I don't need you to ask me out on a date. I don't need any of that. Just come and be cool. Just be like, yo, like make a chat with me, like 5 minutes, stop and chat. Boom. My best friend was with me for her very first signing ever. And the one thing she's like is she was surprised how awkward people make things in person because, there's an infatuation that goes with adult stars that other celebrities don't have to deal with. Athletes don't deal with this. So it becomes, what happens to me is when someone brings me this information in a 1-by-1 setting, and at Exotic, it'd be like 1,000 people in a day, it's heavy because I try and do this, hey, how are you? Where are you from? What are you about? I'm trying, I love you so much. I would do anything to be with you. I've been watching you for years. I've been watching, and so it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And so in my mind, I start going, okay, is this person a problem? Photo picture right here. Is this person someone that would hunt me down? Does this person need a restraining order? How creepy is this person right now? So my friend was sitting there listening to this going, what do these guys expect you to do with this information face to face? She's like, it's so intense.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know.
Or they're the hang along. They hang around too long, and they don't even say anything.
Stare at you for
And I'm
like
just
3 hours from across the room. I want to die.
I'm like,
inside.
Yeah, we had a person at our
You
booth.
overstayed your welcome. I need.
Yeah. There was a guy that was at our booth standing right next to our merch table and just stood there gawking for like 25, 30 minutes. And I'm like,
I'm like,
help
you gotta
you?
get the fuck out of here,
You know,
bro.
he
Can I
was
swear on here? I
He
haven't
was
sworn yet.
Of course. You ever heard me swear over the fucking storm? Goddamn, Lisa.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know.
But,
But just be cool at a signing. Just it's great that you appreciate me, but also, I am hoping that you've watched me evolve over the past 5 to 10 years of my career by doing sports radio, by doing all the work I do on my social media, by writing 2 books, by being active in charity, by doing a campaign for Durex in Turkey for the first time ever in their culture to promote safe sex and condom use. All of the things that I've done and the many layers that I've built in my existence are more than just feverish masturbators begging me for alone time.
no, I have a question.
Let me ask you
That
this.
is
Where
such a
did you
good
come up
point.
with the term feverish masturbators?
Yes, feverish masturbator. I own the domain. Don't even try it, Adam.
I just think it's an awesome term that I've been saying to people around the ACL
it's
for
someone that
the women
watches more than
photos,
10
you know
hours
what?
of content a week, and I can feel them coming at me. Like, there's a difference between a dude that's just like, yo, Lisa Ann, what's up, to the dude that comes at me and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy thinks we're way closer than we are. This is going to be a problem. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can
Yeah,
feel
but you
it.
know what? You know, Lisa, you mean you brought up a really good point. I mean, like if they really love you, you know, they would, you know, be directed
Love
to
me.
your
They're
charities.
infatuated.
Right.
No, no.
They would be all into your charities and donate a whole bunch of money to your charities, and
Do
they
you
would come
think
to you.
these feverish masturbators have a lot of money? Where are you
Some of them
No,
do.
Chitlins
No, no,
doesn't.
no, no, no. Some of
love?
them do. Some of
Chitlins
them do.
try.
Some of them have. I don't know what you call it, digital girlfriends and shit
What are you
that
gonna
they
do?
are.
It's
Like,
called a sugar
That's
baby.
yeah.
what are you
That's
gonna
what
do
this
for me? Like,
yeah. That's
Yeah.
what this whole
am I gonna
simping
fall in
term.
love with you right now just because you told me all this information?
Yeah, that's what
I'm
this
Where are you
whole
supposed
supposed
simp.
to
to.
go with that? There's
Yeah.
nowhere really to go with that. You know, do you know that a guy brought his baby in to meet me at the Dave and Buster's in New York City? His baby. And
Wait,
he tweeted
Todd
about
wasn't
it.
hallucinating. Okay, that really did happen.
To hold this kid. I have a photo. The photo, the kid is looking at me, and I cannot tell if the kid is like, I need a mother or please get me away from this person. But he wanted me to hold the baby, and I'm like, okay, dude, listen, this signing just started like 20 minutes ago, and I'm not having slobber on my dress. Like, I'm not holding this baby. And also, it's like, baby had no shoes, he had no diaper bag. He had just grabbed the baby and taken
Oh.
him on the train and brought him down.
Yep.
I was like, it was a very traumatic, emotional moment for me because I was like, this is inappropriate. And what more do we have to worry about with this man and his child?
Yeah.
Because he thinks it's appropriate.
Yeah, and then your your pictures on his Facebook profile. This is my
Oh, yeah.
baby mother. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
So I
Baby
have a
lover.
question. How was it for you transferring or transitioning, I should say, into more mainstream things out of the industry?
You know, it's been great for me because I've always focused on different skill sets. So, like sports radio, when I started working for SiriusXM in 2013, and I just left working for Sirius to be independent last year because I realized I could do so much using my platforms. But I'd been very well versed. I listened every day to anywhere between 5 and 8 hours of sports radio a day. Sports kept me really going when I was on the road feature dancing because I would visit all the different stadiums, arenas, and ballparks. So it was a no brainer for me to just push away. Nothing we try in this world as a secondary career is going to be easy, and especially when you have, you know, adult as you're as kind of looming over you. But I've got to
Yeah.
say, the people at SiriusXM were so non-judgmental and gave me so much confidence and so much help and helped me grow that it really helped launch me out into the world of going like, hey, listen, some people are going to be Team Lisa and some people aren't, and I'm okay with that. I understand that everybody has their own perception of what it's like to make adult content, what it's like to be in that business. But at 50 years old, I'm able to make my own schedule. I live a really nice life. I've taken care of my future. So I can finally look at it now and say, you know, it really worked.
Yeah.
Worked better than I thought it would have. So anybody who's not on my team, that's okay. You know what I mean? That's totally okay with me. I no longer need to change your opinion of me. I just know that I'm able to take care of myself. I'm able to pay my team, my staff, the people that work with me, make opportunities happen for other people. And I love the life that I'm living.
That's great. Now,
I love
what
that.
advice would you have for other industry people who may want to transition over and are having a hard time doing so?
That's
The first thing is have outside interests from the adult industry. Have friends outside of the business because through them, you're going to meet a lot of other people and a lot of other doors were open for you. Grow. I mean, read, tear through books, reach out to other people that are reading. But having outside interests will continue your conversation, your brain going, because eventually it can be very numbing being in the industry because you're kind of doing the same thing. It's repetitive. You know, you're having to cater to an audience. You're having to constantly play this role and cater to this audience. And you need to take your brain out of that and be able to feel connected to the world in another way, or you could just kind of melt. So anybody who's looking, do not get discouraged. Be patient with it. Save your money while you're in the adult industry so that that next thing you're chasing doesn't need to pay your bills immediately or maybe if ever. And just stay focused. Know who you are. Because again, as long as you can say, hey, not everybody's going to get it, you get this sense when people are kind of judging you when they look at you. Just don't bother with those people. Don't try and change their mind. Go to the people that are open-minded, have your outside interests, do a lot of networking, and don't allow it to be 100% who you are 24/7.
Yeah, because that's really like it's really a different lifestyle for me because it's honestly I want to do all these things. Going from being like a pageant queen to this is like just a total spin around. But it's like I've grown up like doing this charity work and going and doing all these things and wanting to help people, and being able to do that with pageantry was super easy. Like that was the in thing to do. And now it's kind of like I have more of a following, but you know what companies don't want porn stars to back their products, or
right.
You know,
or even charity. There were charities that didn't want to work with me for the longest time as well. Wouldn't take a donation, or but you just got to keep going at it, and you got to keep going at it.
Yeah.
So
challenge
here's
in
a
2015 to 2016. I read a book a week for a year was my challenge. I ended up reading 63 books in that year, but that year changed my life because I read all books like it's under my computer. I'm reading one right now. It's called Decisive. I read a lot of good business books, a lot of good thinking books, and really helped me like spread out my mind.
That's amazing.
So Lisa, I always ask this of Autumn and the manager. Right now, 2020 through 2022, the push has been trying to get everybody on this whole crypto, this NFT thing. The metaverse, is a big thing, 3D thing. From your standpoint, because you're like on top Mount Olympus and everything, is there anything that you're seeing that everybody's trying to push towards the future? Is there anything that you've heard of that you could tell us?
No, just pretty much everything that you've said. And as for, I am open to everybody learning about everything they're doing, but I think we're jumping ahead where Bitcoin and NFTs are, the future, right? But you still need to learn what's right now. So the financial literacy you need to be learning is about having balance, whether it's going to be a mutual funds, the stock market, where you're going to save, bonds, which are good right now in this market, what you're going to do. And then you move over to something that may not have the same guarantees or consistency. People who got into Bitcoin at the right time and walked away at the right time might reinvest, and they might not. They might say, I got in when this popped and it was awesome. But always be forward thinking. And I take a little bit of time every day to learn what's the new thing that people are really talking about, whether I'm going to lean in or not lean in. I mean, I remember when Twitter happened and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to lean into this. I don't know if it's going to stick. And then
I was talking to Elon.
Well, yeah. Well, and I've told Autumn this before. What I would like to see is some of the classic, porn stars. I would love to see them get your stuff like NFT, right? Like take all that stuff off of the porn age and all that other stuff. If you're going to watch it, it's got to be an NFT so that each individual person they're buying off of the blockchain and everything, and you guys get more money off of that. Because
I got to explain something to you there. And that's all well and good, but we don't deal with the highly technical savvy as our fans. So the most getting them to just be able to effectively use a webcam without having problems. We're dealing with people that are in other countries. We're not dealing with that level of mindset. So the market for girls who have jumped in right away and thought they were going to make a ton of money, whether they were classic names or whether they're newer performers, they realize, the money isn't there. And I'm like, of course, because the guy is now a member of 15 different OnlyFans pages. He's paying for porn for the first time in probably 5 years because people were watching tube sites, and they do not have the technology literacy that somebody else would who has been in the world of Bitcoin, NFTs, and what may be next with the metaverse. So it's about knowing your business. And it's about knowing your business's audience. Everybody wants to jump into the pool, right? Everybody's like, they're talking about this right now, I'm jumping in. Have you taken the time to really do the research on the data
maybe
and find
40% of people would even want an NFT? It's like the want for it is not even.
Are you kidding me?
Exactly. It might be something that you're into, Chitlin, but I can tell you this.
There's a lot of people that
unfortunately, there's none yet, right? So that's
there's a ton of adult companies. There's Nasty
at this point.
Sarah Patrick's done some. There's a ton of adult stars doing NFTs.
There's a ton of people doing it, but through all the grapevines, I haven't heard of anything that I really see myself end up being like, this is cool. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, we don't have the buyer right now, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem, is knowing your audience and having the buyer. So when we can start branching this into, like, when Pornhub does more stuff, when Brazzers does more stuff, when these sites that are really kind of the benchmarks for the industry today, when they start doing more stuff, more people will follow. But we're walking into more than just a recession. We're walking into a potential depression. So what we're going to see in the next 8 to 10 months is going to dictate how much money people have to spend on luxury items, which are their memberships to OnlyFans, which are they're going into clubs and buying dances, seeing their favorite performers at Exotica. So, like, for me, it's not the time to step into something that I want a big amount for when the big amount just isn't there with gas prices and everything else. You've got to be realistic and know your marketplace.
Yeah, because the first thing that they're going to cut is their
memberships. They're gonna have to, like,
memberships that are porn. They're gonna cut out the extra that they spend on those girls on the
it'll
cam
be down
sites.
about 40% by this time next year. I think the overall numbers for OnlyFans. That's my prediction. That's just my prediction on the economy as well. So that's where we're gonna hit, and I think that's going to affect people wanting to buy big ticket items.
Okay, well, here's a question for both of you ladies. What is the one luxury item that if something bad happens that you're like, fuck, I can't deal without this luxury item?
I don't have anything like that.
Yeah, because you were talking. I know you were talking about the whole minimalist
nicotine
thing.
Okay.
I mean, nicotine, maybe.
That's kind of a necessity. Is that a luxury? I want to give it to you.
What, nicotine?
Nicotine.
Or weed.
Okay, that's a necessity.
That's a necessity.
Well. Okay, look, what are you talking about? That's a necessity. What are you telling me right now? I'm not literally not even those things either.
No, I'm saying, what if? See,
until that stuff starts getting covered by insurance.
Stuff with like we were talking about, Chitlins.
Not going to ever get covered by insurance. But California is the first state in the United States that is now going to be doing at-home STI, sexually transmitted infection diseases. At-home kits are going to be covered under your health insurance. So everybody gets your
so in fact, so let me hold on, let's talk about this.
I got 4 minutes left till I have to go. Okay, just so you know, because we're the 30 minutes.
Let's talk about this real quick then. All right. In Jackson County, this is from the Kansas City Star, a woman sued her lover because she not only sued her lover, but she sued his car insurance company for $9 million. She ended up getting $5.2 million because she caught an STD from him. The STD was HPV. She claims that she says he never told her that he had an HPV, and as a result, she caught an HPV as well. So she sued Geico, and she won. She fucking won. So the question to you guys is, do you think that was okay? I mean, is that where we're going to see now more? Because think about it, you also insure your house. If I catch an HPV while I'm in your house, do I get to see?
By the way, you can't catch an HPV. HPV is an actual disease. So what you're trying to say is HPV. It's not an STI or an STD. It's HPV is the virus that she caught.
The human papillomavirus.
Yes. I had to correct that. I'm so sorry.
It's just because she was in his car.
Listen, I'm not gonna.
This is word for word. This is word for word from the Kansas City Star.
The come up. This person had to come up financially, and insurance companies had to pay it. Like, good for her.
Like, no, it said that he gave her throat cancer, and it was probably while she was giving him oral sex in his car. Therefore, sued the auto insurance as well because it happened in his car. That's what
we're living in.
That sounds crazy.
All right.
So does that mean I can sue McDonald's if you give me a blowjob and I spill a coffee on my dick?
Totally different thing.
Inside the McDonald's,
because by the way, the McDonald's cup says could be hot and burn you to get them out of the liability.
I'm blind, and even I know that. All right, and if a blind person knows that a McDonald's coffee's hot, there's no excuse for anybody.
Yep.
Lisa, I want to thank you very much for your time.
You got it. So will I be seeing you, Adam? Will you be at the signing at Dave & Buster's this coming Saturday, June 12th from 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time in Orlando, Florida? Will you be there?
Unfortunately, I will not. I actually had my. I'm actually about to be a godfather for the first time.
This is fantastic and very expensive. All of your
Wait,
extra
aren't you
money, Adam.
atheist?
All of
Aren't
your
you
extra money has to go to this child, Adam. So, as a godfather, you have to save money every week, put away for that child for the rest of your life. And also, you have to get a will done right away. I already have my will. You need to set up a will because you are now responsible for another human.
Gerber Insurance.
Just saying.
I don't know anything.
Gerber Insurance. Yeah, get a Gerber Insurance.
Yep.
And everybody watching
Permanent.
or listening, wherever you're communicating, thank you to all the hosts for having me on this show. Follow all of my social media channels at The Real Lisa Ann, YouTube, The Real Lisa Ann. My 2 podcasts, Dudes Do Better and The Lisa Ann Experience, are both available for you on my YouTube channel. Subscribe, give me that thumbs up, write a comment, not too long, not too creepy, too easy to delete, so think it through. And have a great day, everybody.
Tell Jason I give him my best, and I say congratulations on the event in Orlando. Wish I could be there.
Yep. Don't forget to donate to her blessings in a backpack.org. And all the other good stuff. Thank you, Lisa.
Take care,
Lisa.
Bye.
And I want to say before we continue, dreams do come true, and you don't just have to have a vision. And that was just like amazing. So I thank you guys for Autumn, the manager,
awesome.
Lucas, Al, and the entire Awesome Sauce family for taking this ride and helping to turn dream into reality. I love you guys.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Man, I'm just still trying to get over this lady who sued, because that's going to send all types.
So wait, what? Did it even have any information about what happened?
Yeah. So the guy had throat cancer, and he knew that he had throat cancer. So it's confusing right now because, is it Kirk Douglas or Mike Douglas? He got throat cancer, and then he says, "Oh, I got throat cancer because I was going down on my women, and the women possibly had HPV, and that's why." And then he had to pull that back. So he was saying, this dude is saying, "Hey, I had throat cancer. I knew about it, and then we had sex in my car, and then for some reason, as a result of that, she gets to sue the car company, even though it was not operational at the time. At least I hope it wasn't operational at the fucking time."
Well, see, the thing is, she shouldn't have any grounds to sue the car company because it's not the car company's fault that she had sex with someone that had HPV in their car.
Right.
Like,
all right, y'all. I'm gonna send you a GoFundMe page. It is for my brother. One of his dogs has been diagnosed with a tumor on his spleen. And they need assistance with the procedure. So I'm going to send this. Anybody out there that wants to donate or that can, please.
You going to put it in the private chat?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the private chat.
Okay.
And if you guys can donate, that would be, anything will help. And I'm trying.
Oh, how old's the puppy?
Sai, I want to say he's like
4-ish?
No, Sai is definitely older than that. I think he is about 10 or something.
Oh, okay.
He's super old. But I think he's pretty much a healthy dog. But they have a goal on there of, I think it's $1,000 is what their goal is right now. So, and he just posted it now. So, if we can get him to hook up, anybody out there that wants to help, that's my little brother, so that would be greatly appreciated.
Amazon, stop.
So I went to Pride over the weekend. We went to a Pride festival.
A pod festival? What is that?
Pride.
Okay.
Sorry.
How was that?
It was fun. There was a lot of people there. Surprisingly, for their usually not that many people there.
What state?
Maryland.
Maryland? Ah, well.
Yeah.
And her butt looks like a ham.
I have to tell everybody that.
Well, is the
She
butt
was
cheeks
wearing
all out?
fishnets and got sunburnt, so now she has like diamond marks all in her butt.
Ah,
Yeah, and I said my butt looks like a ham.
hey, it's her body. If she wants to cook the hams out.
I'm leaving this one alone.
I mean, she'll show it to you guys.
No, not
I'm good. That's supposed to be. It's supposed to say that for the OnlyFans. Come on.
Well, it's already on there.
Now we'll save that for next week on the 69 Spectacular.
Ooh,
Exactly.
yeah.
How about this? I don't know if you've been keeping up on the TikTok stuff, Autumn, but
Mormon soft swinging? What is this?
yeah. So there's this TikTok group of women. So and when people ask me how to get a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of members of TikTok, I say you gotta freaking join a group, right? So technically, the way it would work is all four of us would be a group, and then we each individually put out freaking content. Then when you put out something, I like your shit, you like my shit, round and round and round and round it goes. Well, there was this group of 20 TikTok moms, and they were doing it, but they weren't just freaking sharing each other's stuff or freaking liking everything. Well, they were sharing husbands and liking each other's husbands and all that other stuff, right?
That's awesome sauce.
It is not. That is
That's
disgusting.
amazing.
That is
That's
how
the
HPV.
American way, my friend.
No, that is how HPV freaking spreads, my friend.
No, not if you get tested and protect it and you play within the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
Nah,
probably not doing that.
You're right.
That's
They're not
just
doing
a
that.
You're
big-
gonna be sexually active, like they just make sure you're tested and you're safe.
Look, Mormons
It's
are
common
weird,
sense
though.
in America,
Mormons
that
have like
bad.
100 kids.
Right.
They have like 100 kids, which means they're always fucking. See, this is my thing.
Mormons and
I know,
also
but that's irresponsible, man.
And also Mennonites. But listen, this is my thing though. Is like they have all these kids. They have like 14 kids, because all of our grandparents are like, I had 87 brothers and sisters. Okay. And back then, it's not like they had formula. It's not like you were bottle fed. You were breastfeeding these child. So what do you think these parents are doing while they have probably like 1 or 2 kids attached to each tit? They're fucking. So now, like,
Gotta have somebody to
when I'm thinking about it, as much as I breastfed my son like in bed, like for the first year of his life, and then my husband also wanted to have sex, and like I would just breastfeed him, like I would just be like, well, he's got to eat right now. I guess we're doing this at the same time. And I'm thinking, like, how is it like with these parents that have like
16?
They have like 4 in diapers, 3, and then they have a couple 11, 12-year-olds running around. It's like,
yeah, there was that. What was
they're
that
probably
show?
doing the same thing. And I thought it was weird at first. I was like, this is weird, but then to them, it's probably normal because they probably do the same thing. Like that couldn't be, you know what I mean? It has to happen, especially if you have, like, say you have twins, like you got one on each tit, and you're probably trying to make a new one by now.
But I mean, at what cost? I mean, like, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, you have to think, like, they probably breastfeed their kids for like up until way past 1 year old, probably like 2, 3, however long Jesus tells them to, or whatever. And then, so they have a baby here on this tit because this one's like 1, and it's breastfeeding.
Mommies to breastfeed their
I just made that up. I just pulled that out of my ass.
You read that in the Bible. What
So you
chapter
say
of the
you
Bible
have, like-
does Jesus tell mommies to feed their kids titty milk?
Exactly.
I learned that in
So you
Sunday
have.
school, but I'm feeling wrong.
So
You have
believe
like
it or
a
not,
2-year-old here. You have a 12-month-old here, and it's already okay. It's 12 months. It's been a year, like ready to make another kid. So what you doing? You feeding both of them at the same time and getting railed by your, husband.
So
Like
so
that's probably happening.
There's something wrong with this whole picture, and this is me
so
talking.
so hold on, Adam. So
Yes, sir.
subhanallah. In the Quran, there is a special verse that talks about, um, if you're in your house, right? Especially for women, and another guy comes into your house or whatever, and it's not your sons or your husband or anything, you're supposed to stay covered, right? So there are certain aggregates of the Muslim culture that believe, well, if I, and it says once again, the actual verse says, if you, the only ones that you are allowed to see you uncover are your husband or those you have not breastfed. Right, we're talking about
Yeah,
men.
I
So,
was,
so,
the
so
manager's the one that came up with this idea. I didn't realize it until he gave me this information.
What?
Whenever we were talking about the Mormons and the Mennonites, how they have so many children.
Where I got that from? My mom, who had 19 brothers and sisters, said that she would sleep behind the fireplace in her mom's house. It was like a shack.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that her mom would be breastfeeding 2 children and making another baby at the same time.
That's what I'm saying, because you breastfeed them forever. That's probably a normal
back then
thing.
They didn't have
but
a choice.
Could you imagine telling a kid or a super crazy person now that actually happens?
That happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is you have to give your child consent to change their diaper. Those people, you tell those people that it happens. Guess what? Now it's oh, you're sexually abusing your child because you're letting it suck on your tit while it's witnessing you having sex.
But it's not witnessing shit because it's you're to the side.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. It's on your boob, and then it's getting slid in from the back, and nobody fucking knows.
I mean, I feel you. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying.
It's not like you're on top fucking reverse cowgirl with the goddamn baby in your
Okay.
Listen. This was just an idea, a thought. Give the people that say
there's going to be some.
You should ask your kid for consent before, or you're abusing your child by breastfeeding them.
Well,
give those crazy fuckers that idea.
I heard on TikTok this lady said that there's a lady on TikTok that literally said she asked consent before she gives her child a bath or changes its diaper.
What the fuck?
I'm you're going to ask consent to change a shitty diaper? Are you freaking nuts? Okay, your kid says no, then what you going to do? Let it get a goddamn diaper rash?
Well, your kid is not going to be able to say no, and if he can say no, he should be out of diapers anyway.
Yeah, no.
If your kid, I mean, look, everybody's different. All the moms are different, but if your kid can ask for titty milk, he's too old.
You're damn right.
Yeah, and there's these people that breastfeed their kid up until 5-6 years old.
5, 6, no, 12, baby.
That
12,
is no
man.
longer caring about children. That is now a fetish for that mother to have her tit sucked by that child.
Yeah, there's motherfuckers walking around getting breastfed up to 12 now, man.
Are you serious?
12 years
That's
old?
what I'm saying.
12 years old.
Titty milk.
Okay, so where were they at whenever their little brothers and sisters were made?
Yeah,
right there on that titty, sucking it.
But still, 12 years old, that's just way...
Yeah, that's just...
No,
and this is me talking? That's
right.
just messed up. This is Blind Adam the comic pimp talking.
No, that's not it.
No, that should be illegal.
Yeah, that's
especially if your child is capable of eating and nourishing itself regularly.
Think about this. Our children right now at the age of 10 and 11 are going through puberty. A 12-year-old boy on a mom's tit is going to be going through puberty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there sucking on their mom's titty.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's fucking weird.
Really.
It takes all kinds. It takes all kinds. But that goes into what I
Strokes
was
to move
talking
the
about.
world.
Well, yeah, that goes into what I was talking about with the people in this particular called in the Quran. They say, well, no, you're not supposed to allow anybody into your house to see you uncovered unless you've breastfed them. So some guys, some guys and little boys, they walk in and the wife gives them a little titty milk so that they can just chill in their freaking house uncovered. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, my dad had an experience when he was in Vietnam. Um, he said that like over there, the women would just be walking around naked in their homes, like they didn't care for clothing or want because basically they were wearing rags anyways, and it was just a normal thing over there. Like it was just like I'm just gonna go into buff. Like who gives a shit? Like they would
Yeah.
be walking down the road with like jugs on their head and shit, just like da-da-da, I'm naked. Who cares? Like
Yeah.
so, I think we're also conditioned that nudity is wrong over here in this country, and a lot of different cultures and a lot of different countries don't see things the same way that we do. So there could be things that we think's off the fucking wall, but they're just like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. We've been doing that for years,
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it comes into the whole thing of accountability, right?
Yeah.
Um, in certain countries, it's um, who is the daddy is not as big of a question.
Yeah.
And that's why, right? So,
Yeah.
Well, do you have the right to say, well, that kid is mine? Well, how would you know? Well, I know because I had sex with your wife. Well, how'd you know? Well, because I know that she's got a little purple butterfly tattoo on her ass.
Yeah.
That should never be a thing, right?
Hmm.
Well, or well, you know, he he's the father. He's the father of my kid. Well, how do you know? Well, because he's got a freaking little rainbow on the edge of his dick.
Yeah.
These are the freaking questions that people should not know, right? So let everybody just keep the shit covered. There's certain things that people should not know about you, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's too much that happens in these like custody cases too, and child support cases and all of that. Like they go into like so many filthy details about stuff that people just don't need to know, and it's just to be an embarrassment like towards that other person. And I don't agree with that. Like I don't think that you should be in the court spreading like all of the shit that happened, or even if it didn't happen, some people come up with lies just so they can get the child support money. Like, well, he did this, and this, or vice versa. It could be like, well, she did this and this. But
Well, here's
it's
the
a very
question.
ugly thing.
Here's the question. What did you think of the death Amber Heard and the amount of information that came out?
She shit on his bed.
I personally
No.
believe that
Hearsay.
she
That is
abused
hearsay.
him.
Well,
everything was
she said
hearsay.
it was the dog.
Without DNA evidence, if the shit did not fit, you must have quit.
There you go. But I think that they both were in the wrong. They both did things towards one another that should not have been done in a relationship. I do not think that they were a good fit for each other. But I think Amber took it to another level by, writing the op-ed, doing what she did, basically trying to Me Too him out of a job and everything else, which she successfully did. And I don't believe that's right. That's the problem with today's society. You can go out.
Excuse me, guys. I'm going to quote Sutton from the Comic Crusaders Twitter group.
Mm-hmm.
Ezra Miller gives a minor marijuana, alcohol, and LSD. Amber Heard allegedly shits in the bed, but yet they fired Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she does all of this crap, but then writes an op-ed against him, and then she's like, I'm going to end sexual, like, battery and rape and all of this other crap. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, all of the shit that just came out against you, like, the stuff that you wrote the op-ed about didn't even happen, and it's proven. But yet, all of these companies and all of these movie executives and everybody who used to work with Johnny were so quick to jump the gun because they don't want to be associated with anyone who has a rape allegation or anything sexual or anything abusive. So in today's society, you are literally guilty until proven innocent. And that's not how it should be. We should not have the public deciding that you're guilty without hearing all the evidence. Like, when did this all become like trial by fire? Like, I don't understand.
True. Because all they're doing is the social media. It's all social media. And all, that's because everybody's forming their own opinion as soon as they hear the information, because you can't keep anything a secret.
No.
So as long as there's going to be people making decisions and having ways to spread that information, whether it be correct or not, there's going to be other people that believe that.
But here's the thing, like, when you go into a court of law and you're supposed to be in, the jury, they say, don't research this, don't look at it at all. But how can you not?
Yeah, how is that even possible?
It's everywhere. Like, everywhere you turn, like, you would literally have to disconnect yourself for however long you're in this trial from all electronic devices, all news, like all TV. Because even on YouTube, like, I would just be scrolling through and there'd be like 15, 20 videos of just different things.
For the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing, it was just, I wasn't even searching for it. It was just coming up in my feed anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same way it was with us. It was just popping up, and then Netflix has a series out now. Amazon has a documentary out now.
That's what I'm saying. Discovery Plus.
Yeah, even Discovery Plus has a documentary out.
Had a documentary before it was even over with. That was out.
Yeah, but they knew the outcome.
Right. Well, I mean,
yeah, but it was just so quick to be on it. I've never seen anything. So
in today's day and age, you have to be the first to jump on it.
Oh yeah.
If you don't jump on it first,
I just there to already be a series on it before it even ended.
Yeah, well, that's like the Tiger King. They made the series and did everything like that while everything was still playing out.
True.
Man, so final decision is, and this actually talks to Lisa Ann, thank her for coming on the show, and she talks about her experience with TMZ, because one of the biggest things that she, it was incredible that she lied about was how all those photos and the videos and all the bullshit got to freaking TMZ. She says, well, I never collaborated with TMZ. And then, in fact, one of the guys who was running the desk says, yeah, I got the call, so I dispatched my photographers out there, and it was supposed to be at this time and this freaking point, and yada, yada, yada. So at that fucking point, any hope that she had of freaking, pulling that shit back was freaking done. So, in the meantime, there's still she can, go back and say, well, I want this to be less and all the other shit. But, again, this is comic books, right? We're talking about comic books. So, the reparations for this is that there was actually a Warner Brothers executive who had fired Johnny Depp because of all this bullshit, right? He has now, so so first they said, well, we're not going to let you be ahead of DC stuff anymore. Well, he said, well, no, I need DC stuff. I need the animation. I need all this, because that's where automated. Well, we're not going to give you that. So he said, well, I'm just going to move over here. No, motherfucker, you got fired. Right? Yeah. He straight up got fucking fired. Him and a couple of other people. So now the question has been, like, who's going to take over for him in that, right? Some people have said, hey, the guy who did the Joker movie, they're thinking about, because he did an excellent freaking job with just that freaking movie.
They just announced the Joker 2 with Joaquin Phoenix and Tom Phillips this week.
And then there was talk that even before this freaking case started, that they had actually talked to Kevin Feige to consult on the whole DC thing to freaking help him out. So I got.
Don't you think that what's his face, the Guardians of the Galaxy dude would
James
be
Gunn?
A perfect fit?
No, because look, he's a good director. He's a good director, but we're not talking about hey, the dude that would just be a good director. He's going to have to be a good director for live
Oh, I
action.
was
He's
He's
got to
gonna
be
need
the
someone to be like that DC's Kevin Feige is what we're saying.
Right.
yeah. We need a guy who could do the DC animation stuff, and freaking look into the comics and say, all right,
I just want
comics,
a
get your
little
shit
like.
together. Let's freaking make sure all their shit fit. Because right
Give me
now
that
none of that
tiny,
stuff
like-
is fixed.
Unfortunately, I think the
Upstairs.
best person for the job they burned the bridge with. Unfortunately,
Yeah, man.
Jeff
Fuck.
You
Johns.
look very
That's why
film noir.
they should have kissed Jeff Johns' dick. I mean, literally.
I look hot over
So
here.
speaking of DC, what did you guys think of the Black Adam
The trailer?
The
Yeah.
trailer, which was fucking amazing.
Yes.
I have not watched it yet.
Oh my god, it's
Oh,
awesome.
he watched it. Yeah, he was like, "Let's go watch this. This looks badass." That has Dwayne in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah.
it has The Rock.
It's gonna be good because it has Dwayne, obviously.
You look so film noirish right now. It's not even funny.
I really think this is going to turn.
Yeah,
DC.
that actually looks like a Dark Noir Jessica Rabbit.
Yep.
Let's take a pic. I don't see that. Looks the same.
It's not gonna look the same.
She's probably got the flash on and everything too.
Oh, chill ass. Disrespectful ass.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What? Let's see, Black Adam trailer. They're trying to fucking get ready for all these other fucking shit.
So,
All right, here we
Adam,
go.
the Ghost White Adam. I watched your Howard Stern video that was on Reddit.
Yeah,
That shit is crazy, dude.
I was so that was a hell of a 2-day period.
Why?
So, how long ago was that? Like, what
I
year
didn't-
was
It
that
is
filmed?
almost 19 years. It will be 20 years next December that actually happened.
I was gonna say you looked young as hell in that video.
I was like 30 years old at that point,
Okay.
and
So, dude, you're like 50? Jesus.
not yet. It's not have a year and a half, bro.
Yeah, but hey, look, man, I'm gonna advise you right now that maybe you just stand down from certain parts of Project Pegasus because, look, bungholes don't slip back like that once you get that old.
No.
I'm saying,
Like,
when you're
You're
20 or
that
30,
to prove the audience.
like when you're 20 or 30, shit fucking slips back like that. But when you're 50,
Project Pegasus.
no. When you're 50, man, shit freaking when it gets loose, it stays loose.
No, my-
All right.
If this is the one and only time that this is happening, then it's done.
Y'all, we have a
Okay.
surprise guest here with us tonight.
What's that?
I said I have a surprise guest with me tonight.
Okay, who's that?
Hello, Marzy's in
Hello.
the house.
Hello. Who that?
I'm Mars.
Mars.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mars?
Mars is. I've seen Mars like slinking in the corner. I didn't know if Autumn had adopted, a new child or something because she was just hiding out in the freaking corner. I was like, okay, what the fuck's going on?
She must really be saying some shit tonight.
I was
was all one.
Hey,
I was
salute.
trying to be
Excuse me,
quiet.
Sean, how much did you have to drink
Glenn.
tonight? Because this is not drunken chat, you know.
Well, snap, we got the moonshine.
You don't understand. Anytime I'm on any goddamn show, it's fucking drunken chat. That's just the way it goes. man.
That's just the way it
I did not know that until now.
Yeah. Freaking even Bird City knows, man. And they still freaking invite me on. God bless y'all, Laura and the
Hey,
rest of y'all
Laura,
crazy
hey,
motherfuckers.
Tony. We're gonna have you. I'd like to have you guys on sometime soon.
No, Laura will not come on because she does not like flashing her tits and none of that.
He doesn't
Yeah.
want Laura on because you won't
Yeah.
flash titties.
You see, and this is what
You know?
I wasn't even thinking of going in that direction. I just wanted to talk.
Yeah, okay. Don't bullshit a shitter, man. Like,
Don't bullshit it.
They are one of the only companies I buy store variants from. Is Bird City. 'Cause I know what they do.
So, madam, like, how do you and Autumn know each other?
We are
Y'all
all
collaborating
our
or-
best friends.
Yeah.
Me and Autumn are best friends.
We're
And
the manager actually met her at a 7-Eleven.
Hey,
and-
that's how it go.
Yeah. that's
Thursday
all.
night on a 7-Eleven.
She commented on the Tornado shirt and asked
So-
me about it.
That's a
And
wrap.
it just started tumbling from there.
Wait, what shirt was that?
It was a tornado shirt.
Tornado. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I was like, "That's a cool
the-
shirt."
I
You
know,
started
I was
telling me
like-
about
CMB
it.
project. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, come over, like we can eat each other's coochies for fun. And she was
We
like,
got. We
"Well,
gotta. Yeah. We got.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
what
Let's do it.
Manager, I gotta. Yeah, manager, I gotta freaking get it with you so I can see me some money, because I want my own tornado shirt. I gotta. It'll be freaking awesome.
only if you
They say you
listen.
want a t-shirt too.
Lucas, email me your shirt size, and I'll make sure that we get one.
Extra large. I need it to be
Listen,
as big as
Chitlin.
a fucking. I need to
Did
use
we
it for
talk
like
about this
pajamas.
last
and shit.
week or last time we were here? Jackass, Triple X.
Drop ass, triple eggs.
It's gonna be
Did
amazing.
I tell?
Yeah, Adam, you ready to eat that Mars bar? No.
Okay,
You know, I've
listen,
been thinking
Chitlins.
about. I've been looking for Mars bars.
Chitlins. I have
Go ahead,
a
Autumn.
part for you in Jackass Triple X. Okay,
Okay, all right, let's do
because
it.
I am the Johnny Knoxville of Jackass
So
Triple
that
X.
makes sense.
So-
that
so-
makes me
so I'm a
Steve
little-
Irwin.
So once again, just know
This part,
everybody
this
knows
part
I'm
is for
concerned. I'm concerned because I've voiced this concern before.
you. You don't
I
have to get
love
naked.
I love the manager and I love Autumn, but if they got me in their house, I'm coming over
Listen.
with escort because I have a feeling they're like, hey, look at this wall full of fucking comics. I'm like, oh, and I look closer and all of a sudden lights go off, shit gets fucking red, and all of a sudden you see freaking Autumn come out with the special suit.
She's gonna be handcuffed to a bed.
Yeah, motherfucker, what?
Crazy,
Like, oh,
then he handcuffed to a bed.
No, it's really easy, and it was simple, and it was my idea, and I think it's hilarious.
I like all the ideas that we got
You,
planned.
I want you
Jackass
to
XX
dress
girls.
up as meme cocaine Chappelle, Dave Chappelle, with like the white shit on your
White
lips, and just go ask people if they have drugs,
Cracked
Oh.
up lips and all. You got drugs?
like with the beanie and like just
So-
white lips, like you got any snow?
You got any drugs? Any cocaine?
So you
know
just
what?
so
It
you
will
just so
be-
so
that
you
would
just
be
want me to
hilarious
act like I
if
normally
Chitlins
do
was
on
on
Saturday
that
night.
shit.
Once again, drunken chat. That's what I do.
Like,
But
I
I don't
think
ask
that
people if they got drugs. I ask people if they got comics.
Well.
Freaking fiending. Hey,
Got any comic books?
motherfucker, you got some comics?
Yeah, like I need you
Right.
to.
That's pretty much. That's
I
They
need
pretty
you
know.
to act like
Yeah,
you're
the
itching
six
for
of
coke,
us.
and then go ask strangers on the side of the road
I'm
or
gonna
wherever.
I'm gonna find me a red Scully cap and we're gonna make this happen.
And, like, he had
Yeah,
paper
we'll make
cuts
this
all
happen.
over him,
Yeah.
and like paper
Yeah.
cuts like on his nose and shit. And he got-
So
He goes going on
Comics.
and ask Tom.
so young lady,
for
so
comics.
young lady, blink if you're okay. All right, because look, from the time we've known Autumn, there are some concerning things that we've known about her. So that means you've been in the house, you've been around the house, and you've seen all the shit she's got, and you're still like okay, you feel safe
Yeah, you don't gotta worry about me. I don't want to get out.
because she's got some 20-pound things in that motherfucker. That
Hey, I'm a freaking league too,
She's
you
talking about-
know.
she's talking
You don't know what I
about-
be doing in the sheets
oh,
too,
they're talking
you
about
know.
this goes inside, bitch. Like, bitch, you slapped me upside the fucking head. I'm dead. What the fuck you talking about? Like, yo,
No, I feel safe with them. I feel
Chitlins,
mad
you're
safe with
good.
them.
I'm not gonna hurt you, Chitlins.
Not that much.
We ain't gonna hurt Chitlins.
She's
I
just
just
gonna
want-
nibble. She's just gonna nibble.
I just want
Nibble.
this Triple X thing to be like some weird shit, and then just also funny regular shit that we do.
oh,
like-
we can get that done.
But then I also want to incorporate like a ridiculousness style where like people send me their own clips, but doing just like shit naked or whatever.
This is the naked slip and slide.
Yeah, or like I'm gonna go shit on the hood of a car.
I'm gonna go shit on like 4 people's
Aerosol?
cars.
Like
Can we play
give
nude
me
Never
that
aerosol?
footage.
I'm sorry. Say what, Adam?
Can we all play nude
I say
aerosol?
like we play
When
out
the
our
aerosol
own
goes?
awareness,
Yeah,
and
air
he
guns.
goes and just like
Oh,
shit.
were we running
At
around
random
naked
place
and we
and
shoot
things
each
that
other with Nerf guns? That sounds
Yep.
fun.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Let's run around naked and shoot each other with Nerf guns.
They have to have safety pins on the end of them. That
No.
way they stick in your skin.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the ones that will stick.
Amazon, stop.
he's trying to injure me. He said paintballs, and I was like, that's
Oh,
not
no. Paintballs are going to hurt.
That's flat ball. It's like paintball.
I've heard
but it doesn't hurt.
paintballs hurt. If we do that naked, paintballs are definitely going to leave a mark.
Yo,
You know, I
this
said
pays your
I'll
bills.
take a paintball to the nuts.
This pays your bills.
Take a paintball to the nuts.
This is
Y'all
what we're gonna
can't
do for
fuck with
Jackass Triple
Not the
X.
face.
We're gonna
Nothing
take,
but
I'm
the
gonna
face.
take a
Everything
paintball
now is all
flag in the
game.
nuts.
I don't
He
know.
said he wants it in the nuts.
Come
I'll
on.
shoot out him in the dick with a paintball, man.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna get one of the pitching machines, and we're gonna get
We're going to stick
Either
a
a
paintball
ball
in
or
those
you
pitching
drink,
machine. We're
or
going
a
to shoot
can of
Adam in the
liquid
dick.
death, and let's
No,
take a
he
shot
said
at
a
the
can of
nuts.
Red Bull.
Dude, that
A
is
can of
going
Red
to
Bull.
murder your
Oh
dick.
my gosh.
He
It's
said
okay.
he was
I'm not gonna
gonna
feel. I'm gonna feel no pain, man.
Oh my god.
We're not going to give him any warning either because you won't see it coming.
Exactly.
I told him, I was like, really, a can of Red Bull? He was like, yeah, I think I could take it. And I
He
said,
won't be able to see what's in the cannonball.
what if we shoot like old school Nokia phones at his dick?
Oh god, no. That'll
You'll
hurt worse than
flip
Red
it.
Bull.
No, like a Nokia 3310.
Yeah.
No,
that'll
just
hurt
a
worse
slap
than
one.
Red
What the
Bull.
heck?
Yeah, because that
You
shit's
know
like
what you're doing.
fucking Thor's hammer.
Yeah,
Doors
they're
here.
indestructible.
Yeah. It
I'm
would just be
worried.
funny to
You
see
ready for that, Adam?
Nokias.
Oh, I'll be ready.
He said he
I'm
ready,
ready
to
to
take it.
testify.
He said, I'll take the
It's
Nokia.
Oh god.
He's gonna take Thor's hammer to the dick.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I
buddy.
mean, we can actually get a replica.
He said he's
for
ready.
hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of beams that like have the Nokia
God of
3310 on
thunder,
it
cock of
as
doom.
Thor's hammer.
It's coming.
That's
yo.
what I
Oh
was
my
getting
gosh.
at.
What is wrong with people?
Or we can shoot an ancient iPhone.
No,
I mean,
there's
this
this guy.
is Jackass XXX. We gotta take it, go big or go home.
Yeah, exactly. This.
You gotta go all the way.
There was
you
this
see
guy
Jackass
talking
and
about
MTV, see
how-
the stunts they do.
Nokia
They
3310.
do some crazy stuff on there. We gotta compete with that.
So hold on.
This is
I'm
my
a little
one time
confused.
where
What
I
is
can ignore the warning at the beginning of the TV show and try to stunt some home.
is
Do not
Jack
try this at home.
is Jackass XXX a movie inside of Tornado, or is like a separate?
No,
it's something
this
where-
is a
where
side
the-
project.
Side thing.
Ah,
project.
Yeah, I already
A
read
whole different
I
show.
already rushed out the Bag Dragon about it.
Jackass girls gone wild.
That's
Excuse me,
So-
Mars, have you watched any new anime stuff recently?
New anime stuff.
She just
Not
watched
yet.
Food Wars.
What'd you say?
I said you just watched Food Wars.
Food Wars? Yeah, I'll be meet me.
She wants to be meat. I said
But
bitch.
what is your favorite anime though? Or do you
Hmm.
even watch animes, or is this just some shit that Adam just fucking? asked
One of
about?
my favorite anime, hands down, in my book has to be Rick and Morty right now. Yeah, I love Rick and Morty.
But that's not anime. That's animation. That's not anime.
Okay, if we're talking about animation, then probably Family Guy. That's animation. That is funny. Family Guy's hilarious. And they're still going.
Yeah, but I think they should stop.
By far.
This last season is
Yeah, they're running out of
Still
ideas.
of his former self.
Yeah, they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, you only watch The Simpsons if you want to predict the future. So, but
serious.
if we're being honest,
Yeah.
so gotta
The
watch what
Simpsons-
happens.
Now we're gonna get into
Simpsons
conspiracy
predicted
theories.
9/11.
Awesome
Simpsons
Sauce Radio.
predicted Trump
Okay.
getting elected.
You know what?
Whoever's writing The Simpsons, I need to borrow their book real quick for the next 2 years. Like, what's gonna happen the next 2 years?
Now, do you collect anything, Mars?
Do I collect anything? I actually do have 2 Rick and Morty collectible dolls right now at the house. I collect little plushies. I collect coins too. All types of old coins, different coins. Since I'm a cashier, I get to see a lot of coins when I'm counting down the drawer, and I'm like, oh, I'm buying that one out. $2 bills. I've been buying those out. I actually found a coin from Bermuda. Came all
coin
the way
from-
from
somebody
the
tried to pay you-
triangle.
Wait, somebody tried to pay you with Tinder from Bermuda?
Take
Yeah, it was a
coins
coin.
off the deals, too.
Yeah, it was a nickel technically. It was like 5 cents.
I love
Listen,
buying
y'all, on a
silver.
side note,
Do they collect the coins too?
collect
I don't know
silver.
why this came in my brain,
I
but
collect a lot of Susan B. Anthony and Sacagawea coins.
yeah.
I've been collecting a lot of
Sacagawea?
those. 50-cent pieces.
Almega, bring up a
$5.
picture of Beavis and Butthead sculptures and put it on the screen for me. Because I just saw this the
You
other
guys
day.
see that new Beavis and Butthead trailer?
And it really freaks me the fuck out. So if Al could put that on the screen just so that Chitlins can see how fucking creepy it is. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
What is this?
Beavis and Butthead sculptures.
Is it like the real looking ones?
The real looking ones. Have you guys ever seen them? Just because we were talking about cartoons and then my brain went to Beavis and Butthead. Look at these
Watch have a
fucking
new
things.
animated movie coming out at the end of the month.
Look at these
Their
demon
faces,
sculptures. That if we had some type of animatronic situation with these, like in a movie, that would be fucking hilarious. Could you imagine?
Bro.
Yes, like like imagine that sculpture moving. Like that would just be so funny. I love it. I love it.
I hate it.
Now, the one on the left
hate-
looks super realistic. The one on the right just looks weird, man.
I mean, they both like.
I mean, honestly,
But, like,
So Beavis and Butthead Do the
one on
Universe
right, if Jay
is
was
happening on
looking
June
back
23rd.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Like the one on the left is like, did I do my homework? The one on the right is like, freaky. Very freaky on the right.
Like he just got off his last meth high.
It was like,
Gotta go get some more.
boobs.
Yeah, I'm gonna score.
Score. We're gonna fucking score.
That's why
Did you say it? What's the one where they're talking about getting on a bus of sluts or something? It was like,
Oh, that's Beavis and Butthead Does America?
yeah, but what was it? What was it supposed to be? But it was like a bus of nuns or some shit.
Oh, God.
And he was like, did you say slut?
Let's get a bus full of sluts. Oh shit, we got a bus full of nuns. What we gonna do with these? Take them to church?
Yeah, he was still. I'm still trying to smash.
And the nuns were like, nah.
TP for my bunghole.
Yeah, TP for me.
TP for my bunghole.
My favorite was like, "Are you threatening?
Are you threatening me? I need
Are
TP for my bunghole.
you threatening?" Oh my god, I love Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to
We have
it.
to wrap it up because I have to do paperwork for the both of you.
We have to wrap it up. I do have to.
We have to do some paperwork. We have homework.
Contracts.
All right, so
What's by
manager,
John?
So
Auto?
are we going to see Mars in any project soon, or?
Yes, for sure. Coming soon.
Yeah, she's coming with us to New Jersey, so
Lots of things.
we'll have her
When
at
are you guys
Exotica
coming
for the
up?
first time.
Trying to get my free cams and everything set up. Everything's just wanting to be difficult. I love technology.
That's also what we're going to be
Hey,
working
excuse me, manager. We'll be in touch tomorrow, and we'll figure out an alternate day to get together.
All right.
Adam's ready to eat that Mars bar.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
I don't know how to take that. That's it could go all types of ways. I don't know what.
Well,
The,
it's going some
as a
ways.
member of the
Yeah,
Access
this
Media
is-
family, I have some paperwork to
And
do.
if we can't find Mars Bar, I'm going to Baby Ruth.
so hold
The
on.
baby Ruth.
So may I ask what your pronouns are, Mars?
What my pronouns are?
Yeah.
I'm female. So all
Oh,
the
So no.
All the
What are your
Hers,
pronouns
she's,
are?
the these, the those, the theys.
all the she's, the hers,
Okay.
all the girl pronouns.
Okay. Just
I am woman, all woman. I'm just bi though. I
Hey,
like
no.
women too.
Everybody,
Autumn,
there's a whole
she
bunch
is
of people that
fine.
were no. There's a whole bunch of people that were not anatomically born that way. That even though, no, they may be in the heat. They say I am woman. I'm all women. So
Chitlins questions everything, you see.
No, you don't gotta worry about that. You don't
No,
gotta worry about that.
no.
you know.
I just want to provide everybody the
Chitlins will make you a
opportunity so that I can
conspiracy
address people the way they want to be.
If
addressed.
anyone wants
You don't
to
gotta worry
play,
about that.
Because y'all over there talking about Mars bars. I'm like, oh shit.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
eating the Mars bar.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
No,
It's
no,
gonna be
it's
See,
not
Adam, eating a Mars bar is
Relax.
eating a Mars bar is a totally different freaking thing.
listen,
than
we
what
said out of the
Yo.
ass.
Yes.
He's going to eat a chocolate bar out of her butthole.
Yes.
It's gonna be delicious.
Okay,
You
so
eat
we're
a
talking
chocolate
about an
bar out of a
actual
pocket girl's
candy
butt.
It's the
bar.
American
Yes.
way.
An asshole candy bar. Or like she lays down flat and we put the candy bar in between her butt cheeks like a fucking
Shoot,
hot
if you
dog
can't find a
bun.
Mars bar, just get a Milky
excuse me,
Way.
manager.
And
That
he'd just
works
be
too.
like,
Yeah, because I
There's
haven't
plenty
seen
of
a Mars.
Milky Ways.
Can
I
you
haven't
show
seen a
Mars
yeah.
that
I can get
story
Mars
with the
bars
ice
on
cream
it.
cake I sent you?
I haven't seen a
See if that
Mars
would
bar in a
interest her.
minute, man.
He's
And
looking
then-
for him. He's looking for him. He's going to get one on Amazon.
and then
Excuse
you
me,
can only
manager. Show
Yes,
Mars
yeah,
the
he-
story that I sent you with the ice cream cake and see if that would interest her.
something
Send me
about an
what-
ice cream cake.
He sent me some stuff about ice cream cakes. I'll show it to you.
Ice
Oh,
cream
okay.
cake. Ice cream cake. Do the ice
I'm
cream
just
cake.
gonna check
Ice
on
cream
the
cake.
top.
Do the ice cream cake.
Ice cream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream because it's delicious and it's just. If
For
everyone
those
looks
listening,
like
I
it's
just looked at
delicious,
comic book
and
store, I
that's from
promise.
Blind Adam, contact Access Media at Twitter at the Manager 35, and that's where you can book Autumn, Blind Adam, or Mars.
Blind
Love you
Adam
guys.
on Mars.
Well, no, you can. Well, I mean, there's an application process to get screened, right? Because y'all can't just be going out there and freaking meeting crazy ass people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Of
an
course
I want that
not.
for
Of
you.
course not. We've been testing. We've been testing.
We charge $250 for a vetting
Outsiders
process.
gotta go and get
Can
tested.
I-
Yes.
Well,
Got
I just
to.
let the manager
You know.
take care
Totally
of
got
that.
me on that. I'm 100% truthful. I send everybody over to the manager. I'm like, email him.
Yep. Talk to the manager. Talk to the big boss.
Yep.
Everything has to go through him.
Yep.
If it's not approved by him, sorry.
Yeah, because you're
Try
not about to
again.
freaking sit around for an hour while you freaking tell me you freaking love me and you love the freaking one shot at a minute 55 during my third movie. You know, oh man, I like the way you fucking or looked like you were in pain during that fucking. Like, what the fuck? Like, nah, man.
Oh, we love that. We love that for us every day. And that's what my DMs looks like.
Down in her DMs. It go down.
Yeah, it really does go down in my
People
DMs.
getting her up right now. She got to talk to people.
All right, guys. You guys have a great night. I love you guys, and we'll be in touch during the rest of the week.
Love you too,
All right,
Blind
love ya.
Adam. Bye, chitlin, greens, and cornbread. Nice talking.
All right,
Bye.
nice talking to y'all. Love y'all.
All right, I think I tortured you long enough with everything else. I think you're at this point ready to get into some comics and then get on out of here.
How do I click it off?
Absolutely. So let's get into it, man. Freaking a couple of the things from the news. PRH, that's Penguin Random House, has locked up an exclusive deal. Now, we already know they locked up an exclusive deal for the comics, but now they've also locked up an exclusive deal for Marvel books and graphic novels and trade paperbacks. Right.
Oh wow!
And that makes all the sense because, well, I mean, it makes a big difference because they say they will only be selling that shit as of April 2023. They will only be selling that stuff to freaking bookstores and major retailers, right? So if I wanted to get some of that stuff, I'm not going to be able to freaking, as a small
So
retailer.
you're not going to be able to get trade paperbacks and hardcovers anymore?
No, and that doesn't make, and that I don't care, man, because I've yet to sell any trade paperbacks. The trade paperbacks that I usually buy for myself and shit.
So I do well with trades, but I always go through Amazon for them, so I don't really care.
Edge of Spider-Verse #2. This was a number that people were
Was this the $5,000 thing from Comic Connect?
Yes, sir. Comic Connect. The bid ended like around 9:00. Final bid $7,360.
Shit, was this for the Greg Land variant or for the regular cover?
Greg Land. Sir,
All right,
Greg
that's
Land
like
variant.
it's kind of not that far off.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. So, for instance, May 10th there was a purchase of 12,000 or 13,000, and there was on April 28th there was one for 5,000. On May 26th there was one for 3,000. On April there was actually there was another one for 10,000 on April 28th. So the prices for this has been all over the place, and we're talking about for 9/8, of course.
Definitely.
All right, so actually, the one for 5,000. So the one on April 28th and the one on May 26th. There was the one on April 28th with 5,000, one on 26th with 3,000. So this was actually be the lowest price for a 9.8 because on May 10th, the 9.8 sold for 12,000, and then on April 28th there was a 9.8 that sold for 11,000. So that means that the price for a 9.8 is actually going down. That's what that means. This is going at 7,300. First off the line, 2021 for those that are interested in trading cards, sports trading cards. In about 14 hours from now, the first off the line Panini Flawless NFL Trading Card Box will start at $15,000.
Holy fucking shit! You just said
$15,000
for a box of trading cards.
$15,000.
Holy big pimpin'!
A new Ghostbusters animated series is in development at Netflix. That's
What do
from
you do?
Variety.
It's Netflix.
Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a Netflix TV series as well. And then we talked about the depth stuff. DC has just announced that a new Dreamer. So there is a character called Dreamer. She's like the granddaughter of this other character named Dreamer. Her name was like Neela, or something like that.
All right, so my question is, are they basing her off the CW
Yes.
Dreamer from Supergirl?
Yes, the character from Nicole Maines. Her first comic appearance was in the DC Pride 2021 #1 that came out just this past week.
All right, so is that the one that had the Harley Quinn cover? It
Yes,
also had a Kevin Conroy written Batman story inside it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It had it's got the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. There was a DC foil, and nobody's really been picking it up, man.
I'm picking them up just because of the Kevin Conroy story inside.
Okay. I have one of these, and it's absolutely freaking gorgeous. I'm going to keep an eye out for these as they come in. Or go up on eBay, and I'm going to just freaking start grabbing them because they're just gorgeous covers, man.
The cover's
foil,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Batman the Animated Series, there is a Batman story written by Kevin Conroy in there. I'm actually a fan of the character Dreamer from Supergirl. There's no secret that I'm a huge Arrowverse fan, so this is an all-win situation for me.
Sure. Now, that's all I have as far as the news. Let's get into some actual FOC stuff. First off, from Dark Horse Comics, I have this one called Mind Management #1, the bootleg. It's written by Matt Kent. This list says it's weird, mind-blowing, paranoid storytelling. It is the first ever comic book from Flux House, Matt Kent's all-new imprint, which features crime, science fiction, and human stories. Previously in My Management, a covert government agency of second super spies fell into oblivion after one of their top agents went rogue. What looked like the end was only beginning as a former leader of Mind Management explores the darkest parts of the world and recruits a team of forgotten agents to rebuild the organization, bend reality, and go to war with a competing agency. Covers look like crap, but could be interesting. Next up, I have Frank Frazzetta's Death Dealer #1. There's going to be a third print, which actually looks pretty good.
That went to a third print?
Yes, sir. Third print.
I still have to read it, but it's Frank Frazetta, so...
Yeah, no, you don't. No, you don't. But there is a Thor homage. I think is that Thor #1 or what's the first appearance of Thor? It's a homage to that one.
Shit, you're on a blank.
Yeah. Then Rocketeer has a 1 of 10 coming out. Dungeons and Dragons Ravenloft #3 has a 1 of 10 coming out. G.I. Joe 296 has a 1 of 10 by John Royal. It doesn't look too good.
People are picking up these John Royal covers.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine when you had the Duchess or whatever her name is on there.
You had the Baroness, you had the Snake.
This one has just got a bunch of guys fucking shooting. It's not very interesting at all.
I guess some of them are hit and miss, but you had between the Snake Eyes and the Baroness. something I'd give, I guess, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Then there's a G.I. Joe Road American Hero Best of Snake Eyes one shot.
They're doing the IDW's doing the best ofs again, eh?
Star Trek: The Mirror War number 7, 1 of 10. It's got a bunch of different Luke Picards. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 131. There's a 1 of 10. By I forget who that's by, but the IDW Transformers Last Spot Standing, the one that came out this week, actually did pretty well.
Hopefully my store didn't forget to put it in my box.
Yeah. Usagi Yojimbo number 29. There's a absolute wonderful watercolor by Steve Sakai. Steve Sakai. Or Stan Sakai. The Closet has a couple of amazing freaking covers. And this is for issue number 2.
Oh, wow.
Impact Winter number 1. I don't have this list for that one, so I don't know what it's about. Lego Ninjago Garmageddon. Prodigy the Icarus Society number 1. It's got an interesting, I don't think it's watercolor, but it's got an interesting color to it. But I just love that freaking tiger. How they made the tiger take up most of the front cover. Spawn number 331 by Steve Barons. It just Spawn standing there chilling with somebody's heart in his hand.
That's dope.
Then there's this one. It's called Starhinge, book number 1. There's a whole bunch of different freaking covers. It's about Merlin, and apparently he goes back in time, or he goes forward in time to try and influence history. I'm not sure what it's weird the way they describe it, but there it is. But there are some covers. The one that I got my eye on is this the cover F by, I think his name is Ryan Brown. There's also a cover G by McCormick Sharp, and a cover H by Perkins that actually has Merlin on there. Stray Dogs trade paperback is going to be out, and like I said before, though,
is this for the first miniseries or for the Dog Days?
This is for Dog Days.
All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I should try to get Tony back on the show sometime in the near future.
Yeah. Aliens, the trade paperback for that one is coming out. Twig number 3 is coming out, and it's got one.
How is Twig doing in the aftermarket?
It's got its highs and its lows. The only one that was really good out the gate was that Ash Can.
Was the preview, which is still doing very well.
Mm-hmm. There's a 1 of 10 by Strom, a 125 by Momoko, a 150 by Young, and there's also a 1/100 for some reason, which is a black and white version by Young. The Amazing Spider-Man number 2, it's got a second print.
Okay.
And for those that don't remember, that was the first appearance of Mary Jane's kids. Avengers Forever number 6, second print.
Fuck this book.
Yep. First appearance of Star Panther and Sky
Fuck
Spider.
Star Panther. Fuck Star.
Avengers, X-Men, Eternals, Eve of Judgment has a bunch of freaking covers. There's a 125 by Noto, 150 by Cassidy, and there's a Woman of Axe Wernick variant. Captain Carter, Wanted. Cover A has got a wanted poster of Captain Carter on there. Daredevil number 1, the one that I got my eye on, is the David Nakayama.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be hot.
I mean, it's open order. It's the Spider-Man freaking Daredevil joint.
And that's open order?
Yes, open order, yes sir. And then there's like a Panosian, there's a Momoko,
Why wouldn't there be how does the Momoko look?
she
Is
tried to
it
take
typical
advantage of the.
Momoka?
No, I mean she tried to take advantage of colored variants like colored background and all that other stuff, but it's not
Her
working.
stuff is really starting to look tired lately.
Yeah, I bet.
I think
I've
we
already
need
I've
to
already
give her a break.
we've just gone by like at least 4 of her covers already. So
Yeah, it just feels like Matina. You know who I think is work really benefit from a break? Adam News and Matina.
right. Fantastic Four number 45. There is Doctor Doom and his Hellfire Gala, and he actually looks pretty good. He's got like a pimp fur coat, and he's got the hood up. It's pretty interesting.
Dr. Doom be pimping, yo.
Immortal X-Men number 4. It's got a Pride variant. There's a Noto variant. Then there's Marauders what number is this? Number 4. Once again, there's a Pride variant and a Dotterman variant. At least 4 covers. Moon Knight has a Gist variant, and it looks really good. It's got him hanging from a street sign. Then Spider Punk number 3, or is that 4?
Maybe 3.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2099 has 3 covers. Star Wars Bounty Hunter number 25 has got an interesting cover. I must have deleted that one. But Wolverine has a Wolverine versus Predator cover by Hotz.
That's Hans?
Hotz.
Hans?
Hotz, yeah, Hotz.
Alright.
Then Legion of X number 1, second print. It's on the cover is the woman with the unarmed woman on there. Apparently, she's going to the Hellfire Gala. New Mutants has 4 covers to include a Pride variant and a Hellfire Gala variant.
Okay.
Punisher number 3 has a second print.
Yeah, I had to read it, but I've been late. As much as I wanted to shit on this book, I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah, it's actually not bad, man. It tells about the first time he ever killed somebody.
Yeah. And just the whole series as a whole, I wanted to shit on it, and I let Frank as the head of the hand is actually a cool concept.
All new, all different Savage Avengers. It's Black Widow versus Predator.
And they're really pimping up the Predator right now.
Yeah. Then there's Basilisk, which has got a 1 to 10, 1 to 25, and a 1 to 100. Then there's some Magic Gathering by Enoch Lee. Once in Future, it's got a pretty couple of good covers. West of Sundown by Vaults has got some amazing covers. One, of course, my favorite are these little 1970s homage posters.
Nice.
By Ablaze, there's an interesting freaking cover or thing called Prometheus number 1. Victor Santos, Until My Knuckles Bleed has a trade paperback coming out.
Interesting.
Dynamite Never Dies has a couple of good covers by Perillo and Larry. Then Draculina number 5 has some good ones by Rose Bache. Black Caravan has Pentagram of Horror number 3, and it's got some good covers, man. They look like the old covers that were before, pre-code horror stuff. So I could see that selling out. Then Aftershock has There's Something Wrong with Patrick Todd number 1. It's got this middle-aged dude. Yeah, it's got this middle-aged dude holding a shotgun, looking like he's got the 1,000-yard stare. Zenoscope has brought back the gold, silver, and bronze program. But the only ones
they brought this back.
Yeah, they brought that bullshit back. But they do have some more covers by Abin Tao.
All right, I guess that a little good, a little bad. Abin Tao is the bomb.
I will give this one a shot. Mad Cave number 1, The Tiger's Tongue has a couple. This looks like it's set in Africa, but it's got a white tiger. I don't fucking know. And then Spot has Ninjas and Robot, which
Amazon stop.
it's got some really interesting cosplay covers on there.
We gotta get Autumn on a cosplay cover.
Hey, I've got the offers, man.
All right, let's pick a day to talk, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it a drunken chat, awesome sauce radio cosplay variant. It's gonna be off the motherfucking chain.
Yes, sir. All right, sir. You got the him.
I got the what?
That's it. That was the last of the book.
That's the end. That's the end of the episode. I guess the last thing I want to bring up before I close the show is, I had 2 Archie books I want to show off for Braille Bits. One is Archie Comics 441 with this very sexy Cheryl Blossom cover, and then Archie from the 2015 reboot issue 12. Once again, sexy Cheryl Blossom. They're playing video games. And my question is this, and I want people to leave this in the comments after we're done going live. Why are this Archie stuff so undervalued and underappreciated? But yet it's the only show that got renewed by the CW outside of Superman and Lois and the Flash. It's because Archie is all about pussy.
Hold up, I thought Riverdale got canceled though.
Nope, got renewed for season 7.
Hold on, let me check this out, because last I heard,
Nah.
I don't know. I don't see it anywhere, but yeah, I could have sworn it was.
I know my CW stuff because I had bets with.
Okay, yeah, Riverdale to end with season 7. To premiere in 2023. Yeah, Riverdale to end with season 7.
Yes, but it got a season 7, which is a lot more than Batwoman got, and a lot more than like Legends of Tomorrow, which was on forever and started to suck monkey balls. Riverdale and Archie is amazing. I also think that our special guest, who I thank for being a guest on the show, Lisa Ann, as a mainstream project would make a great Cheryl Blossom and an animated Archie film. Test the thigh. Please go see Lisa Ann this Sunday at the Dave & Buster's International Drive in Orlando, Florida. Go to my sponsor, Glamour Under the Stars. Tell them Blind Adam sent you. I'd like to thank Autumn, Gary, Mars. If you want to book them or you want to book Blind Adam for your event, go to Access Media at Twitter at the Manager35. I'd like to thank Almega. I'd like to thank Chillin' Green Cornbread for helping producing the show. I love you guys. If you offer all your comic book needs, go to the poll box, drunkenchatsun.com. Remember, we don't need sight to have a vision. It's not what happens to us, what we do about it. Yet that's all you do is ask, believe in a power higher than yourselves. Take the first step, which is the most difficult step. I know that dreams do come true. I love you all. Blind Adam out.
That was a real bomb, you maniac!